Welcome, Tailgate Legends, to another Victory Thursday. It's been a great week. Packers got a win against the Panthers on a last-second goal line stand. It was amazing. Badgers got a win against Iowa. My team got a win, so overall, pretty good week. So great Victory Thursday. It would be Victory Wednesday, but I'm not getting to the video till today, Thursday. Yesterday, I kind of had a choice. Either I make a video or I sign up for Disney Plus and watch The Mandalorian. So that's what I did, and it was amazing. Do not regret that choice whatsoever. I highly recommend you get Disney Plus, watch The Mandalorian. If you haven't seen any of the Star Wars movies, watch those first, except Episode 1. Nobody cares about that one. So got a great video for you today. As always, going to run through last week's matchups, who won, who lost. Then I'm going to do a segment. I'm going to do a redraft, a first-round redraft. So let's just say we didn't have the rookie draft until right now, who I think would go in what order. And then I'll go through the standings and then next week's predictions. So we're going to get right into it. First, I have Ricky 2000 against Cheeseheads with Attitude. Landon, Roofer got the win, 140-106. Landon, team, same old shit. Roofer put up 140 again. You're putting up points, man. Putting up points this year, but still in fourth place. Not looking too good to make the playoffs, but still got a little shot. So, keep your hopes up. Next, we have Third Degree Burns against Weiler. Weiler smoked the fuck out of you, Burns. Burns' team, again, in shambles. It's crazy. So, Burns, you got to be in, full-on rebuild mode this offseason. If you're looking for picks, let me know. Actually, I don't even know if there's anybody on your team that I would trade for. Maybe Alvin Kamara, I guess. But even he doesn't look that good this year, so... So Weiler, high score of the week. Team looks great. I think I got you in a couple weeks, so we'll see. Next, we have Evan Shearer against Hot Chub Time Machine Lemke. Evan ended up with the win, 146-125. Lemke, this is kind of a low-scoring week for you at 125, which says a lot. Evan, 146. Great week again. You had a few guys blow up. Delvin Cook, just riding that Delvin Cook train all the way to the fucking station, baby. Evan, team looking good. Lemke had a little bit of a slip up, but team still looks great. So next we have me, Kaiser Soze, against the Greasers. Mike and Mike, I pulled out the win, 141-127. It was a little closer than it should have been. I had Kyler Murray in my lineup with 10 minutes to go till kickoff. Kyler had the really good matchup. At the end of the day, I would not have been able to swallow a loss with Russell Wilson on my bench. I know he had the 49ers, but it's a tough call. It's a tough matchup, but still got the win, 141-127. Next, we have Shit the Bed Fred against Gar, Mr. Fist. Prusky ended up with the win, 106-84. Gar, low score of the week. It kind of looks like he's hauling it in, packing it up. He traded Leonard Fournette, got a major haul for Leonard Fournette, a first-rounder, a second-rounder, and a third-rounder for Leonard Fournette. That is best-case scenario, in my opinion, for you, Gar. Mike and Mike, I kind of get it. You have to feel like you still have a shot. And you make the playoffs, anything can happen. It is a lot. It's a lot for a player with one touchdown on the whole year. But we'll see. I think he has a couple good matchups, so it might pan out for you, it might not. We'll see. And then last we have Fat Bottom Girlies against Pump and Munch. Boggs ended up with a big win here, keeping him only one game back of the playoffs with 3 games to go. Yacht falls behind one more game, one step closer to missing the playoffs, which is what I'm kind of hoping for. everybody's still in it except for Burns and Landon. Every single team is still in it with 3 games left. So this is exciting stuff here. It's exciting times. All right, so yeah, gonna kind of segue right into my redraft. So most people here know I love rookie drafts. I love the prospects. Just that you have ceilings, you have floors. It could go either way. It depends on the situations they go to. I have an infatuation with it. I fucking love young players, and just kind of seeing how their careers go. So I'm going to start it off. I did not do this order by who had what pick. I remember where a couple people picked, but besides that, I don't really remember where anybody picked. So this is basically where I think people would go today if we had a redraft, and I'm only doing the first round. So I'm going to start it off. Number 1 overall pick, I think stays the same. I got Josh Jacobs, number 1, kind of a no-brainer even right now. It's a little bit more of a no-brainer. I do feel like it was pretty much a no-brainer at the beginning of the year too, but John Gruden loves his big backs. He's super talented, in a great position, getting a huge workload. So Josh Jacobs, number 1, no-brainer. Nice job, Derek. Got that one right, I think. Number 2, I think Prusky did have the 2nd overall pick. So the 2nd overall pick, I have Miles Sanders. I think in retrospect, I think this is a good pick by Prusky. This year he's kind of startable. He's a decent bye week filler, I think, right now. His only issue right now is he's not getting any red zone work. And, Jordan Howard is just getting a lot of the runs. But Miles Sanders has been fantastic in the passing game. Even in the run game, he's looked pretty good. So I think moving forward, I would feel pretty good about Miles Sanders after this year. We'll see what happens with Jordan Howard. I think he was only on a 1-year deal. It might be the Miles Sanders show next year. Who knows? But he looks good, super talented. So Miles Sanders, number 2. Number three, I have Kyler Murray. Again, same thing. This is a product of just this rookie class just isn't that good. Kyler Murray has been a top 5 scoring quarterback in our league, and a top 10 scoring player in our league. So to have, in a quarterback-driven league, to have a guy like this with such a low floor or such a high floor, it's kind of a no-brainer. His $11, I'd take it all day. So Kyler Murray, I got number 3. Number 4, I have A.J. Brown. I said it at the beginning of the year. I felt that A.J. Brown was the best receiver coming out of college. I thought he was the most talented, most gifted receiver. I still believe that. He's had some good games in a very shitty passing offense, which you gotta love to see. I think after this year, I would be shocked if Marcus Mariota or Ryan Tannehill were the quarterbacks of the Titans next year. I think A.J. Brown has a new quarterback, and it's not going to get much worse than Tannehill or Mariota. So I think he has a ton of upside, and after this year, he's only going to be trending up. So A.J. Brown, number 4. Number 5, I have the other Ole Miss receiver, DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf comes in at number 5, mostly because he has Russell Wilson throwing him the ball. Russell Wilson is the best deep ball thrower. DK Metcalf has proven that he might not be a great route runner, but he's at least a serviceable route runner. But he's got great hands, he's got great speed, and his size, it's legitimately really hard to tackle this man. So DK Metcalf, he's been great all year, and I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. So as long as he's on the Seahawks with Russell Wilson throwing to him, I think he's going to just continue to get better. So DK Metcalf, number 5. Number 6, I have Devin Singletary. The one thing I love about I love Devin Singletary because he is talented. He's talented enough in a really good offense. So not a really good offense, but a really good offense for him. The Bills, they're not. Josh Allen is never in his career going to just chuck up and down the field. He's not that kind of quarterback. He's going to be dropping it down in Devin Singletary. They're going to kind of be a run-first offense as long as Josh Allen is the quarterback. And Devin Singletary has proven that if you give him work, he's going to do the best with it. So he has had a couple injuries, which does, it scares me a little bit. But Devin Singletary, he's been as good as any running back in this class. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up being the best running back out of this whole class. It would not shock me one bit. I don't think it would shock anybody one bit. Like, oh, yeah, Devin Singletary is making all pros. It's like, well, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So Devin Singletary, number 6. Number 7, I finally have David Montgomery. Now, everybody here knows I was really high on David Montgomery. I probably would have, if I had a second overall pick, I would have taken David Montgomery. That is not the case anymore. I have him at number 7. And a big reason that he's even number 7 is just because of the workload. But I do think that as long as Trubisky is the quarterback in Chicago, nobody in that offense is just going to be elite. Nobody's going to be a wide receiver 1, running back 1. You have Allen Robinson. He's more of a wide receiver 2 on a good day. Probably a wide receiver 3 though. And then David Montgomery, even with the amount of work that he's getting, he's still not an RB1. I don't think he's ever been an RB1. Maybe 1 week. So, I mean, he's touching the ball 20, 25 times a game, and he's coming away with, 50, 60 yard total, maybe a touchdown. So, David Montgomery, not quite as good as I had hoped he would be yet, but he still has a ton of upside, and you still got to feel good. Even if you get him at number 7, you still got to feel good about that. Okay, so David Montgomery, number 7. Number 8, I have Marquise Brown. Now, I know I left him out of my top 15 at the beginning of the year. I have him at number 8 now. The reason I kind of left him out of my top 15, like I said before, is he was already hurt in the beginning of the year. And then he comes out week 1 against the Dolphins and just lights it up. It's just a fucking light show. Well, since then, it he kind of hasn't been the same guys, against other teams, rather than the Dolphins. So since that first week, he has, 2 catches for 49 yards, 4 for 22, 3 for 22, out, because he's hurt, 3 for 48, and then 4 for 80 and a touch. So he really only has 2 good weeks. He has 1 great week, 1 good week, I guess. So I think, moving forward, Marquise Brown, I have him as probably a Deshaun Jackson type of player, except probably not even as good as Deshaun Jackson. And a big reason is because Lamar Jackson, as electric as he is and as good as he is, he's still not that great of a deep ball thrower. Marquise Brown still isn't that great of a route runner. He can get behind defenses, and if he does, and Lamar Jackson connects with him, yeah, that's great. And he'll get a handful of deep shots every game, but you're kind of playing with fire a little bit. It's just so hard to predict when he's going to nab one of those, a lot like Deshaun Jackson was. So, he's good. I have a feeling he's going to be a boomer bust player pretty much his whole career. So Marquise Brown, number 8, though. It's exciting when they do hook up, though. Okay, number 9. Number 9, I have Terry McLaurin. I love Terry McLaurin, obviously. I do have him as my 4th receiver still, even though he's beating all these guys in fantasy points. He is kind of trending down now. Defenses are kind of honing in on him, and that offense is awful. Dwayne Haskins is a pile of garbage. Case Keenum, what I guess was somewhat serviceable, but Dwayne Haskins is just, I don't know. So unless I see Terry McLaurin as he's going to be the kind of guy where he'll get you 4 or 5 catches for 70 or 80 yards, maybe a touchdown. That's kind of going to, I feel like that's going to be his baseline unless he gets moved to a different offense or they draft a better quarterback. But you put him in a better offense. You put him with the Seahawks, he's going to put up monster numbers. That's how talented I think Terry McLaurin is. But I have him at number 9. Still feel good about him. Drafted him in the 3rd round. But yeah, so Terry McLaurin, number 9. Number 10, TJ Hawkinson. Again, we had all these rookies just bust out week 1. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Marquise Brown is going nuts. Devin Singletary, I think, had a good game. TJ Hawkinson is going apeshit. Oh my God. You want to know something? Since week 1, when TJ Hawkinson put up 23 points, he has, I'm gonna list them off in order every week. 0.7 points, 0.1 point, 11.7 points, which is his second highest total by week, 3 points, 5 points, 3 points, 8 points, 7 points. That is as disappointing as anything I've ever seen from a fucking rookie who put up this monster game. And the Lions are always chucking all over the field. I don't understand how TJ Hawkinson has not been better, but he hasn't been. I would still take him in the 1st round because that's how talented he is. But tight ends normally take a little bit longer to develop. So he started strong. Since then, he's really fell back down to earth, but I think he'll bring it back. So we'll see. It's the Lions, though. Lions, they always fuck up those tight ends, man. They just can't get it right. All right, so next, number 11. Number 11, I have Mecole Hardman. That's who I would take at number 11. Now, again, he's more of a boom or bust. Like, the only reason I'm taking Hardman not in the 3rd round is because he plays for the Chiefs and he's really fast. Like, really fast. I mean, you guys have seen him, I'm sure, seen the highlights. Like, this dude can run his ass off. You get him in open space, nobody is catching him. I don't even know if Tyreek Hill is catching him. That's how fucking fast this kid is. But he doesn't have a single game over 100 yards yet. He does have 5 touchdowns. Here's the really cool thing. He has 21 catches on the whole year. Just 21 catches, but he has 5 touchdowns. So basically, if he touches the ball, there's a 20% chance he's going to score, which is insane. Again, a lot like Marquise Brown, he's going to be a boomer bust on a week-to-week basis. He'll be a good bye week filler, I think, but he doesn't get enough work. He doesn't get enough targets. But you never know where that could go. And he's in the Chiefs offense, so I'd feel pretty comfortable with taking Mecole Hardman. So number 11. And then number 12, the final pick in the 1st round, I would take N'Keal Harry. Now, I know it might seem a little crazy, but you go down the list and you look at the other players in this draft, I mean, it's just, I don't know, there's nobody else that has as high of a ceiling as him. The Patriots offense, now they don't have Antonio Brown anymore. They don't have Josh Gordon. They have Julian Edelman and then Mohamed Sanu. And I'm not sold on Mohamed Sanu being a number 1 receiver. I think when N'Keal Harry comes back, he is going to have at least a chance to be a really good receiver for Tom Brady. So that prospect alone would make me draft him in the 1st round. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but I would give it a shot. All right, so that is my rookie redraft, 1st round. Now, real quick, I'm going to go through standings, and then I'll do my predictions for next week. So, in the Lannister division, again, for the fucking 50th time, I got to change the division names. Lannister division, we have Weiler in 1st place at 8-2. Hot Chub Time Machine, Lemke at 7-3, and Evan also at 7-3. So those 3 are in right now. And then you have Ricky 2000 at 5-5. So he's 2 games back with 3 to go. Anything could happen. You got a tough 3 weeks. Obviously, Derek, you're going to have to win out, and then you're going to hope you have to hope that either Lemke or Evan loses out. So We'll see. I don't know. And then you have Burns and Landon. Those two are out of it. Start rebuilding for next year, boys. All right, and then the Stark division. You have me at the top, and then Prusky is in second place now at 5-5. His team seems to be coming around a little bit. You have the Greasers at 4-6, and Pump and Munch at 4-6, with Greasers having the tiebreaker. So right now it's me, Prusky, and the Greasers, and then you have Yacht in fourth. Then you have Fat Bottom Girlies at 3-7. You won last week. He's only one game back of the playoffs with 3 to go. So Boggs has every chance in the world. I don't know what his schedule looks like the rest of the year, but he might play both those guys still. It's all divisional games now from here out, except for 1 week. Sorry, week 12 is out of division games. And then you have Mr. Fist at 2-8. He still has a shot, I guess, but looks like he's kind of packing it in. Traded Leonard Fournette for a haul. Again, fucking great trade for Gar. But yeah. All right, so moving on to next week. All right, so we're going to start with Weiler against Ricky 2000. Ricky 2000, you need to win out here. Weiler, your team looks pretty good, but Roofer's team looks pretty good too. And I actually think I'm going to take Roofer in this one. I think that both teams are going to score over 140 points. I think it's going to be really, really, really close. At the end of the day, I gotta take Roofer here. I like his matchups. Not saying I don't hate Weiler's matchups, but Josh Jacobs against the Bengals. I mean, Christian Kirk, that's a tough matchup. But DJ Moore against the Falcons. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Roofer, but it's going to be close. Yeah. All right, next we have Hot Chub Time Machine against Cheeseheads with Attitude. I'm taking Lemke here, without a doubt. Team is just rolling right now. You got Dak Prescott, Nick Chubb, and Christian McCaffrey just fucking rolling, motherfuckers. Yeah. So I'm taking Lemke in that one all day. It's not even going to be close. Lemke might win by 50 plus. I mean, yeah. Okay, next we have Shearer, Evan against Third Degree Burns. Obviously, I'm taking Evan. Evan just fucking rolling on the Delvin Cook train all the way to the station. He's been a fucking monster. Burns, your team sucks. That's it. Looks like you're starting 2 tight ends again this week. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, Evan, you got Delvin Cook, Julian Edelman, Chris Godwin, Kelvin Ridley, Travis Kelce. I mean, yeah, team's looking real solid right now, Evan. All right. Next game, we have Shit the Bed Fred against me, Kaiser Soze. I'm going to kind of keep it going here, and I'm going to go with me. However, I don't love my matchups, and I do think this is going to be a close game. Russell Wilson is on a bye week this week, so I have to start Kyler Murray against the fucking Niners, the number 1 pass defense in the NFL. And then, Mike Evans. The last time Mike Evans played against the Saints, you want to know how many points he got me? The answer is 0. Marshawn Lattimore fucked him up bad. So and then Cooper Kupp against the Bears, like Jared Goff's going to throw 16 fucking interceptions. Cooper Kupp, he might put up another goose egg. So again, don't love my matchups. He's got really good matchups. But we'll see. I'm taking me in a close one. Next, we have Fat Bottom Girlies against Greasers. Both teams need fucking wins here. Both of you guys. Really excited to watch this matchup. Like I said, both teams need wins. I'm actually taking Boggs in this one. His team seems to be coming around. He's got Drew Brees back. He's not looking that bad. However, Greasers just traded for Leonard Fournette. So, I don't know. Le'Veon Bell's against the Redskins. Maybe he can kind of pick it up against them. We'll see. But I'm going to take Boggs in this one, in a close one again. And then last but not least, we have Pump and Munch against Mr. Fist. I am going to take Mr. Fist in this one. I'm going to take Fist. Yeah. Gonna take Mr. Fist here. I like his matchups. Yacht, you got Jimmy Garoppolo starting, and Jimmy just hasn't been that great. David Johnson hasn't been great. Devin Singletary is against Miami, so that's a great matchup. But then like Nelson Aguilar, I don't know what you can hope for from him. Same with Sanu, and then Stephon Diggs. I don't know. And then OJ Howard. I don't know. Your team could blow up, and it could just shit the bed. That's pretty much how your team is. So I am going to take Mr. Fist in this one. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, as always, try to stay healthy and good luck this week.